So my uncle decides it's time for a full breakdown of the family tree. What started as he's my cousin turned into a whole tangled web none of us were ready for. Here's the short version of what we found out. My grandfather is my grandmother's uncle. My grandmother's mother and my grandfather are half-siblings. They share the same father, which means my grandfather's dad and my grandmother's grandfather are the same person. As that sank in, me and my cousins just lost it. We pushed the invitations away like they were cursed, making gagging noises, walking circles around the table going, nope, nope, absolutely not. It felt less like a family lunch and more like the reveal scene in a documentary about a messed up dynasty. And there was more context we already knew that made it worse. Me and one cousin already knew that when my grandparents got married, my grandmother was 18 and my grandfather was in his early 40s. The age gap alone was bad enough. Add the new info that they were blood relatives, and it went from uncomfortable to this is actually horrifying. Our parents, of course, started scrambling. They kept saying things like, it was a different time, people didn't know better, that's just how things used to be. And to be fair, my parents' generation now is very clear. Incest is a hard no. They don't practice it and they don't support it. But in that moment, instead of just saying, yeah, that was wrong, they sounded like they were defending it. And my discomfort turned into anger really fast, especially because this wasn't just ancient history. Last September, we'd gone to a wedding where the couple were second cousins, blood-related. So clearly, parts of the extended family are still doing this. So I'm sitting there, with all of that swirling in my head. My grandparents' marriage, the age gap, the blood relation, the recent cousin marriage wedding, my parents trying to smooth it over. And then, I opened my mouth and said something that instantly turned an awkward lunch into a full-blown family disaster. In part 3, I'll tell you exactly what I said, how my cousin made it even worse, and how we ended up getting yelled at, kicked out, and then somehow fixing it all later. If you're watching this as a series, make sure you like, comment what you'd do if you found this out about your family, and subscribe so you don't miss the final part.